Hey, what is going on, everyone? I hope y'all are doing well today. So, we are back with another Me Venting About Everything episode today. I'm going to be talking about some more stuff, and then we'll get to the questions. We did get some people coming through. It took a while for these people to come through with the questions, but I'm really glad that they did come through. I mean, for a while it was just Jackal Gold Kick that left questions on the channel under the last video, which I said you're supposed to enter in on the Me Venting episode part 6. This is going to be the 7th part. And we're doing 7 months later, 8 months later. You know, you're supposed to enter in on that last video that I do. So once this one's done, if anybody wants any other questions answered, you have to put it in on the previous video that's been done. Okay, you have to leave it in the comments section below, because John Weston did not do that. I'm going to allow him this time. I'm going to give him grace this time and allow that, because he messaged me on a different platform, for these questions. So just throwing that out there for you, John Weston. You got to put them on the YouTube page if you want me to answer them, but I'll let them slide this time. And Bakio Six Slime seemed interested. She wanted to ask me some questions, but she didn't get them in on time. So sorry, my friend, but you missed out. I gave you a chance, but you didn't come through with the questions. You didn't post them here. So unfortunately, you're going to have to wait to the next video. And I don't know when that next video is going to be, because I'm not filming a pickups video. A pickups video. I meant to say I'm not going to film another Me Venting About Everything episode if I don't have enough questions coming through. Alright, so with that being aside, there's going to be some things that I mentioned here. Just had to get that out of the way. So I'm neutral with Brian delivers you the goods right now. I'm okay with him. I hope he's not going to betray me or turn his back on me like he did before. So hope to God that he won't do that. If he doesn't, then we can be friends and stay friends and remain friends. Because I'm not really about drama. I've done a handful of drama videos in the past, but I'm trying to move on from that and get back to what my gaming content is. My videos are about the video games mainly. At least 75% of it. But I do have some videos that are not pertaining to that sort of thing. Some people say, well, I need to create this content or I need to create that content. I create content to please people, but at the same time, I create content because I want to create the content. Not because some motherfucker out there is telling me I gotta create this shit or I gotta create the other shit. You know what I mean? It just drives me nuts how people think, well, I'm just a commentator here. I don't have no fucking YouTube channel. I'm just gonna go ahead and comment whatever bullshit I want and say, oh yeah, I can do this, I can do that, I can say this, I can say that. But tell me how to make my content, make my videos and things like that. Now, I don't mind the suggestions. I really don't. I don't mind that, but I just don't. I'm kind of 50-50 about it. I don't really enjoy being told what content I can create, what content I can't create. It's just a nuisance. You know what I mean? I like to create the videos that I like to create. Just like Teddy Rubskin. Teddy Rubskin was labeled as a gaming channel, but he makes other things like Snack Time and videos that weren't about the Sega Genesis or Sega consoles or Nintendo consoles. You know what I mean? Or PlayStation. So, but for me, I am mainly a gaming channel, but I am 30% other. So the 70 or 75% that I do is gaming related, and the other part of it is non-gaming related stuff, such as movie reviews, music, and comic book talk, and pickups videos, and topics about God. So, and I posted that on my description on my channel here. So, what the hell is people mad about for? What are they bitching at me for? Like, oh, well, why I don't like your rap videos. I don't like your music videos. I don't like your comic book videos. It's like, just shut up and watch the fucking video. Like, what's the big deal? Like, I get it. You guys want to see gaming content, but I can't always provide the gaming content. I need to have other videos too. I got other stuff to talk about. So, other than bitch at me and say stupid stuff, why don't you just enjoy the damn video? Just be grateful that I put the video out, because I gotta work full time. I don't have time to upload videos every day like Brian delivers you the goods. I don't have that kind of time. I simply don't have the time. I would be happy with the content that I make, regardless. If you're really a fan of me, you should enjoy the content that I create. On another note, happy note, I'm fine. I'm the same old me. I work full time. I still got my cat. I fed my cat today. Mom fed him breakfast, but I fed him some Temptations for lunch. That's his treat. He gets rewarded once a day if he's good, if his behavior is good. We don't give it to him if he's acting up and his behavior is poor. But as long as his behavior is good, then I don't have an issue giving it to him. So, but he's usually a good cat for the most part, I'd say. That's a really bright sun out there. You can probably see by the lighting here. My lighting's going crazy with this video, but I can't really control that. It's the sun. It's been very windy out today, surprisingly. It hasn't been as warm as it was a few days ago. A few days ago, it got up to 55 degrees. Can you believe that? For March, that's unusual for New York weather because usually it's pretty damn cold around this time. Well, for some reason, it got up to 55. I wore my coat to work, walking to work, and I was actually quite warm in it. I had to take my gloves off because my hands started getting sweaty from the weather. I couldn't believe it. But now it's back into like the 30s and 40s. So March weather really fluctuates. And sometimes it snows in this March weather. I'm drinking Rockstar for all y'all that are wondering. This is not blood and it's not fruit punch. It's Rockstar energy drink. Fruit punch. Well, it is fruit punch, but it's not the juice fruit punch. It's Rockstar fruit punch. It's an energy drink. I think it's one of the best ones that they have. Some of those Rockstar energy drinks I can't drink. I don't like them all. Like, I tried the grape one, and that one really sucked. I was like, I'm not feeling it. The lime one sucked too. I tried the lime one, I thought it would be good, like the Monster. Oh, no, it was not. It was terrible. Those Red Bull energy drinks, I think they suck too. And C4, I don't like C4. I actually did find one C4 that I thought was pretty good. I tried 3 of them, right? I tried the blue one. I didn't like the blue kind. It was like a blueberry or blue raspberry. It was awful. It tasted like crap. It was terrible. Then I tried the Starburst one because my friend Kyle was like, "Oh, Larry, try the Starburst one. It's good. It's C4. It's delicious." I didn't like it. I like the actual candy Starburst, but that energy drink, I just spit it out. It was fucking nasty. And then I tried the Skittles one, and I could only take a few sips of it, and then I just put it down. I was like, I'm good. I didn't like it. I think C4 is awful. C4 makes the most disgusting energy drinks. But the grape one surprisingly wasn't bad, so I was very shocked by that. But you want a better grape energy drink? Try NOS. NOS has some damn good grape flavored NOS. It's delicious. It tastes almost like soda, but it's good. I wonder if Bang made any, but I tried Bang and I don't really like Bang either. Bang is not on the top of my list of energy drinks. Neither is C4 or Red Bull. I think they're awful. But with C4, I found the grape C4 and I thought that was pretty good. With Red Bull, the only Red Bull that I can stand is the peach nectarine one and that yellow can, which is like a citrus flavored one, I think. Those two were all right. But I even tried the blueberry Red Bull and I didn't like it. And I love blueberries. The actual blueberry, delicious. Blue raspberry soda, rather, delicious. But when it comes to blue raspberry or blueberry energy drinks, it's really hit and miss. I mean, it really is. I mean, even the Amp had a blue raspberry flavored Amp years ago, and that was the worst one in my opinion. I did not like that one, and I love the Amp. To be honest with you, Amp was the first energy drink that I tried that I said was really good. Because back in the day, in like 2004, when they first started coming out and getting popular, I tried Red Bull and I hated it. I tried Monster. I was trying all the wrong flavors. Tried the blue one, the purple one, orange one. Didn't like any of those. So I thought Monster was crap. Then I tried Amp and I was like, oh, this is actually pretty good. I tried that green Amp and I actually liked it. Then I tried the grape one, the blueberry one, the blue raspberry one. That one sucked. Grape one was pretty good. It was an orange flavored one. That one was pretty good. Then they had a lemon flavored one, a lemonade flavored one. That one was delicious. I don't know why they discontinued that because I thought that was really good. Cherry Blast one, not for me personally. I don't like cherry stuff. And then the passion fruit one, that one was dope. I like the passion fruit one. That was delicious. Um, and then Full Throttle, which is another energy drink. I thought Full Throttle, the regular one, the original, I didn't like that one too much. It tasted like a watered down Sprite. I didn't really like it. But the orange one, I really like the orange Full Throttle. But when I see the Full Throttles in the gas stations and corner stores here, I only see the original one. So I never pick it up. Because I don't care for that one too much. I like the orange flavored one. But I never see it out in the wild. What the hell's going on with that, you know? I wish I knew. And then, what else for energy drinks? Oh, there's the Venom energy drinks too. And I gotta say, out of all those, I like the mango one and I like the fruit punch one. The grape one is terrible. And I don't like the black cherry kiwi one. The original one's okay. It tastes very similar. The black mamba one, that one tastes very similar to the green monster, the black can with the green M on it. That one, it tastes very similar, but a little bit cheaper because Venoms, they're like $1.50. You know, I remember when them shits were 99 cents. Now they're $1.50. Some places they're $2 for a Venom. You know, everything's been going up. Even bread. I can't get bread for $1.50 anymore. I remember back in like 2018, 2019, I used to be able to get bread for $1.50 or $1.79. It's crazy. Now, good luck trying to get bread for $2 or less. Excuse me. Most places you're gonna pay at least $3 for bread. Sometimes four. For $3.69, $3.79 for a loaf of bread. Just crazy. And the same thing with, milk is going up and fucking eggs is like $8 just for one carton of eggs. Isn't that crazy? Like, what happened here? This inflation just went through the roof. Joe Biden did us dirty, man. Now we got Donald Trump to clean up our mess. And if you're wondering, no, I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat either. I consider myself independent. My dad's a Democrat, and my adopted mom is a Republican. Brother's been brainwashed into the Republican Party. But personally, after making the decision of seeing what has been going on with both parties, there's some things of both parties that I like and dislike. So I consider myself independent. You know, it's my choice. But I decided to vote for Donald Trump this time because I saw what a disaster it was with Joe Biden, and I saw what sort of shit was going down with Kamala Harris competing, or Kamala, I'm not sure how you pronounce her name, Harris was doing, and what she was saying about abortion law and having open borders, which was not safe, and gay marriage and things like that. And I don't agree with gay marriage, and I don't agree with abortion. I'll admit that abortion can be regulated, but to legalize it, why? Why do we want to legalize abortion? There's nothing good about that. That's sick. We should not be legalizing abortion. It's murder. You can't kill a child. Read First Timothy, guys. You'll see the truth. You can't kill a child and not expect to be held accountable for it. On earth, you won't be held accountable for it, but when you answer to God on the day that you die, Judgment Day, you will be held accountable for it. And you can't do that. You gotta follow God's law as much as possible. There may be a few things that we're like, you know what, I don't agree with that, blah, blah, blah. But if we love the Lord and we're trying not to sin, then we can't do that. We have to honor God with our hearts, souls, and minds. And that's how I feel about that. And then when it comes to gay marriage, there's nothing good about that whatsoever. I've talked about that in the past in these videos, so I don't really want to get into that too much. Are there any more gaming videos coming? Yes, there's plenty more planned for this channel here. I'm not going anywhere. Don't plan on going anywhere. Hopefully YouTube doesn't ever think about terminating my channel, because I worked pretty damn hard at this. I worked damn hard to get to almost 300 subscribers, and to lose it all would just depress me. So I understand I have to be careful with what I say on YouTube platforms. No nudity, no indecency, no harassment or cyberbullying, and no racial talk, or violent talk, because that'll get you banned from YouTube. And I try not to do any of those things. And I'm not a cyberbully either. I know the haters and the trolls and the cyberbullies labeled me as a cyberbully, but the cyberbullies can kiss my ass, because they're the ones that would start shit, not me. They looked at what I did and they said, oh yeah, well, we can't tolerate this guy, so let's go ahead and rant about him and talk shit, run our mouths like Kermit the Frog and never shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? And so they did. They went like this, like a hummingbird. They started flying towards me, or they started going like this, running their mouths. And personally, I didn't care that much. I mean, I started to react to it, but I didn't really care. Well, I guess I did, but I don't care anymore, because I'm just going to forget what they say. Who cares what they say? Just focus on my gaming content here and providing entertainment videos for my fans, because that's what they're more interested in seeing. They're not interested in hearing about this person being a douchebag, that person being a douchebag, this girl getting on my nerves and being a douchebag. I don't need to do that anymore, It's better to move on from the drama and the cyberbullies and just focus on what I do best, which is the gaming videos for all of you out there to watch. Let's see, where are we at here? We are at 19 minutes. Okay, I think I'll talk about one more thing, and then we'll go ahead and read some of these questions, So my life, I've been fine. God, it's kind of hard to film with that light in my face. I've been fine. I'm off today. I don't have to work. I'm just enjoying my day off. The only thing I'm doing right now is making this video for you guys to enjoy, which you'll probably see in an hour or so. Sipping some of this Rockstar because it's good. I work full time at my job, and it's at a hospital. And they're supposed to give me a raise. Wonder what's going on with that. I better ask my boss about that. Because I was supposed to get a raise, and I don't think I got a raise yet. They owe me that 20-cent raise. What is going on? Come on. On my days off, I do the normal stuff. I stay home. I watch TV. I record videos here. I play video games. I like to read. I enjoy reading the Holy Bible. I like murder mystery novels like Agatha Christie, Andrea Kane, John Grisham. Trying to think of who else. I like the Hardy Boy books. I thought they were pretty good, and Nancy Drew is pretty awesome too. You know, Sherlock Holmes and things like that. I like the murder mystery books. That's what I like. And I also do like reading comic books as well. But I'm mindful on what I read. I don't read any Stephen King's. I don't read Harry Potter because that's demonic stuff. I wouldn't read The Golden Compass. Excuse me. There's books out there that are just wicked. They're promoting LGBT, or they're promoting garbage. They're promoting demonic things, like books that have like witchcraft, or they're about devils. Things that I don't approve of as a Christian. So I'm just not reading that. And I've come across some comic books from my buddy John, not John Weston, but a different John, that I had to throw out, that I was going to give to Bacchio 6 Slime, but I was like, you know what? I'm a Christian. I know she's a Christian. I found out that she's a Christian as well. I'm going to look through every single one of these books and see, before I send them, if there's anything questionable. If there's any gratuitous violence, it's a no. If they curse God in the comic books, it's a no. And if there's any sex or nudity in it, it's a no. Now, the violence in the comic books, I'm not going to restrict her from reading books, where Superman punches a bad guy in the face, or Batman does a roundhouse kick against this guy he's fighting. There's like 3 or 4 guys that are like in a circle in the comic books, and they got guns and crowbars and baseball bats in their hands ready to swing at Batman. And then as you're reading it along, he's beating the crap out of him. Like, that's just entertainment in my eyes. That's not really bad. As long as the violence is not gratuitous, then who cares? I'm not really bothered by that. But if it's witchcraft, or it's cursing God, like using GD or JC, or saying, for God's sakes, pardon my French, Lord, forgive me, then it's not good. And if it's got, nudity and sex in it, then yeah, no, definitely not. And that it doesn't, that it's not demonic either, with devil horns and witches and vampires and things like that, werewolves. That stuff's garbage, And there are comic books out there that do that. Same thing with books. They have demonic things in them when you read them, or you look at the pages and see the pictures of them. So, and they're also promoting lesbianism and homosexuality in some of these comic books too, which is sad that they're doing that. It really is. Lord, forgive them for that, for they know not of what they're doing, Lord. Like it says in your scripture, forgive them, Father. And that has been going on, would you believe it, for comic books? It's been going on since the late 80s, early 90s. I've started reading comic books in the late 90s and didn't know a thing about that. I didn't know. The first comic book I had was a Richie Rich comic book. Of course, that was like a 70s comic book. It was like a 30-cent one or something, 35 cent. It was given to me. And then I had a couple of Looney Tunes comic books and a Smokey the Bear. Then I started getting into the basic comic books like Batman and Spider-Man, Daredevil, Iron Man, Punisher, Green Lantern, The Flash, and The Incredible Hulk. It wasn't until much, much later I discovered Thor, Black Panther, Ant-Man, The Hard Corpse. I didn't even know Turok was a comic book. I thought it was just a video game on N64. You know, I didn't know that. But it was. You know, things like Shadow Man and things like The Shadow and the Ninja Turtles. I didn't know that those were comic books. I just thought they were cartoon TV shows or movies. So, didn't know. But now I know. And I also know that they started getting bad around that time because of sex, violence, nudity, bad language, and witchcraft. So it's good to be mindful of what we read, what we listen to, and what we watch. I mean, even Ariana Grande is saying that she likes witchcraft and likes practicing it. Anna Taylor-Joy is in movies, apparently likes making movies with witches in it. The movie The Witch, prime example of demonic movies. And that movie is rated R. I don't like rated R. I really don't. But that movie's demonic. It's the same demonicness that could be said about the movie Tear, which was not rated R. It was PG-13. When I said to Zachary, Zach D Productions, it was just me trying to help him out, make him understand. But he doesn't understand. That's his prerogative, but it's not a very wise decision. It's not very wise of him to think that rated R movies are okay to watch, because a lot of them are not. Neither is NC-17 and some PG-13 movies. They're just not acceptable to watch. I'm not saying all PG-13 movies are bad, but some of them, they're not good. But some of them are okay, you know, like The Alamo, some Western movies and some action movies like Paycheck and Spider-Man, Spider-Man 2, The Avengers, Black Panther. Nothing wrong with those. You know, Thor. There were ones that weren't based off of comic books that were okay too, like The Rainmaker, The Cobbler with Adam Sandler, and the movie Click with Adam Sandler, and The Longest Yard. There are some PG-13 movies that are fine. But then there's other ones like Be Cool, Never Back Down, Love, Simon, and Insidious that are not okay. Talladega Nights, not okay. So that's why it's good to be mindful on what we watch, listen, and what we read. Okay, so now I think it's time to get to the questions. We're at 28 minutes, so it's time. So I'm going to go ahead, and yes, I've written all this down because I can't remember this stuff off the top of my head. So I've written it all down, and we have questions from Acid Roots, Jackal Gold Kick, John Weston. Actually, we did have some questions from Zach D Productions, but I didn't write them down for this video, so I'm going to have to edit this video and have that added in here for this video. I have my editor add that part in for me. So I'm sorry, Zach D. I'm not going to leave you out, but this video will upload and then it'll be partially complete, and then I'll write down your questions, and then I'll film that separately and have my editor put it together for me. Alright, so first off, we're going to start with Jackal Gold Kick. He had 5 questions he wanted to ask me. So let's go ahead and tell you what it is, and then I'll answer each question. Please remember that the questions that you send me through these comments must be respectful, and they cannot be about gay stuff. I will not tolerate that. I will delete the comment, and I might even report you for it. Or I won't report you, but I will not answer your question. So please keep that in mind. So question number 1 is, what are some music concerts that you've been to? Honestly, I need to go to more music concerts. But the problem is they cost a lot of money, and right now, my goal for this year is to get an apartment, and I can't get an apartment yet without the money. So I'm stuck in this house that's not mine. It's my mother's house, and I have to stay here until the time is right to move out. But when it comes to concerts, I saw the Newsboys when I was much younger, probably like 2006 or something, 2007. I saw them play. They were okay, but it was really loud, and I couldn't understand all the lyrics to each song. I understood a few songs, but not everything. Just blaring loud. Like, you talk about going to a concert where there's thousands of people and there's a Christian band there, and it's just so darn loud, you know. But from what I did hear, they were good. The lyrics were good. It was just too loud for me. Um, I saw the Reckoning, they're a Christian band, and Isaiah Six. They performed at the same place. It was years ago. It was like a Soul Fest or something, 2007 back then, with Victory Christian Church. And I'm not really a fan of Isaiah Six. I'm not really big into the praise and worship music. It's not my thing. I respect it because it's God's music, but it isn't really my thing personally. I think the sun's starting to go down. But The Reckoning was pretty good for a Christian rock band. They're not too bad. They're not metal or anything. They're more like soft rock, alternative rock, but they weren't bad. Other than that, I haven't really gone to any concerts. Number two, what is your favorite Batman animated show? That's got to be a tie between Batman Beyond or Batman the Animated Series. Now, I watched every episode of both of them. I have them both on DVD, so I've seen them all in full. As a kid, I loved Batman the Animated Series. It started in 1992, so it came out the year I was born. Unfortunately, it wasn't until like I was 6 or 7 when I first started watching it, so it was in the late 90s. After the show was just about done and over with. But I remember seeing reruns on TV and renting some of the VHS tapes of it. I loved the hell out of it. It was such a good show. It's too bad that show ended. And the last episode really left in a cliffhanger. I felt like they should have done season 5 and they should have wrapped it up with season 5 because um, somewhere in Batman Beyond it explained how Joker dies. You know, with Batgirl and Robin and Batman fighting the Joker and Harley Quinn and stuff. How Harley Quinn just disappeared and they never saw her again. But in the original animated show, it never really got to that point. It just sort of left in this last episode on the 4th season, and then we never got the 5th season. So we were left wondering what happened to the Joker, you know? Like, they really should have made season 5 and ended it with about 20 episodes of season 5 and then be done with it completely. But they left in a hanger, and I hate when they do that with TV shows. They really shouldn't do that, but they did. And Batman Beyond, I think that ended pretty well after like the 3 or 4 seasons I had of that. That left well. But the Batman original animated show, they didn't fully complete, I feel. So it's a toss-up between the two. They're both good. They're interchangeable. But the Batman TV show was okay. Batman Brave and the Bold, I thought that show really sucked. Okay, I wasn't a fan of it at all. Batman was really fat, more humorous than serious. Batman's more serious. It's not supposed to be humorous, you know. So hope that answers your question, Jack Google Kick. What is your favorite Resident Evil character? I'd have to say Leon. Leon seems pretty presentable. He seems to be pretty smart. He's lethargic and he's assertive and he's smart. But Claire Redfield seems to be a close second. You know, Claire Redfield and Jill Valentine also is pretty cool too. But I think probably Leon is at the top of my list. Number four is, what's your favorite Transformer character? Honestly, I need to watch more of the Transformers stuff to have an opinion on that because I don't. I only know Optimus Prime and Bumblebee, but I know there were two or three other characters within that. I just can't remember their name, or names rather. I need to read more of the comic books and watch the movie more frequently. The Michael Bay movies, though, I gotta say that the first two Transformer movies were the best, and I watched those several times and enjoyed Transformers and Transformers 2: Revenge of the Fallen. After that, I felt like they started going downhill. I mean, the third film was okay, Dark of the Moon. The fourth movie, Age of Extinction, really sucked. It was boring and it sucked. And the fifth one I never really watched. I have all of them, but the fifth one I just sort of never watched. Never had the desire to watch it. You know, seen bits and pieces when it was on FX, when I was in a different state, but just never really watched it like that. And I know there's another one, Transformers: Rise of the Beast. I think Michael Bay had part in that as well. I never watched it though. I never saw it, but I know it's not an abhorrent or excessive movie, so I would give that a watch. I mean, Movie Guide gave it like a 1 minus, I think, which isn't bad. And it's PG-13 because of some of the language and the action violence, but it's nothing bad. So I would watch it. Yeah, I would. I can't give an opinion on my favorite Transformer character, unfortunately. Number five, do you believe in aliens? Yes or no? Uh, no, I don't. They're a fantasy. They're fake. They're not real. I mean, E.T. was a cool movie and all, and Close Encounters of the Third Kind, and a lot of these sci-fi movies are really cool. AI, artificial intelligence. I know that wasn't really about aliens, but it still falls under the sci-fi genre. And movies like Aliens, Aliens 3. They should have called Aliens 2. Should have put the 2 underneath it. They got lazy and they didn't put 2 under it. I tried to watch the second Aliens movie, but they kept cursing God, so I stopped watching it. I turned it off. But that one seemed more like an action sci-fi. I heard the first film was a horror flick, you know. I never understood why they changed that. Why they decided to change it. It should have stayed a horror film. But they went from the first film being a horror film to changing it, making it more of an action sci-fi. The first 3 films are good, but the fourth film sucks, and the fifth one, the Covenant, Alien Covenant, never saw it. Honestly, I haven't seen any of them. Just bits and pieces of the second one, and bits and pieces of the first film. But besides the movie shit, to answer your question in full, no, I don't believe in aliens. I think they're made up. I really do. They're just fictional characters, you know, just like Batman is a fictional character. But we still know them and we still love them. Alright, moving on. Acid Roots had 2 questions that he wanted to ask me. His first question is, do you listen to rap mixtapes? What are some that you listen to in rotation? Well, Acid Roots, as a Christian, a lot of the rap music is not very positive. A lot of it has shied away from positivity and it's become more about sex, money, and drugs, and hoes and bitches and things like that. And that to me is not good music. Music with violence, killing people for no apparent reason just because you or a scumbag is not a reason to listen to that music. It's not uplifting. I like to listen to music that's more uplifting and more positive. But I thought Lil Wayne's Dedication 1 and 2 album, those were mixtapes. They were pretty good. It's a shame that Lil Wayne has been whacked for over 10 years now. He's barely put out anything worthwhile or worth listening to. Because back in the day, when he made the Carter 2, and the Carter 3, those albums actually had some good songs on it. Not every single track was dope, but there was some good songs on each of them. Then he went to the Carter 4 and the Carter 5. Carter 4 was complete garbage. I Am Not a Human Being, that was a garbage album. And the Carter 5 had one good song on the whole album. Maybe two, and that was it. KG52, he's a Christian rapper. Going back to his music, the Yearbook had a lot of good songs. Daddy's Always There For You. And a song, Go Ahead and Do That, Go Ahead and Do That. Go Ahead Boy Do Your Thing, Go Ahead Boy Do Your Thing. Those two songs are pretty good on that album. And his other album, Behind the Music, had a lot of good songs. But the song where he got stuck in the truck, the minivan fell into the ice, and the ice melted and the minivan got stuck. That was a good track. Revenge of the Nerds, that was a good track. It wasn't on the Behind the Music album, it was on a different album, but it was still a good song. It's Pronounced 5-2, that was a good song. Video Games that he did, that song was pretty good. I like video games, so I can relate to that. Where Were You, which was on his Collaborations album, that was a good song. It was about bullying, parents abusing their children, and how the kids cope and deal with it. I can relate to it because my dad was a piece of shit father, so was my biological mom. So I can relate to that song very well. And that song is good. It has him and Golden Child in it, and I really like that song. And then he's got a few other songs. Here's a Few Things That I Like. That song had him and Liquid on it. That's a good song. And Never Look Away, which was off Behind the Music. Good song. And 5-Tweezy. It's 5-Tweezy, KG 5-Tweezy. It's 5-Tweezy. That's what my friends just call me. That's what my friends just call me. Ludacris. You listen to old Ludacris, and you're still like, yeah, this song's dope, man. Like 20 years later, and his music's still good. Back for the First Time. That album was good. Chicken and Beer. There was good songs on that. The Red Light District, the Number One Spot, and Get Back, really good song. And that song I did with DMX, better money, better thousands, stack millions, put your money where your mouth is. That song, Put Your Money, that's a good song. And The Potion, that was another good one on the album. I like that beat. Do 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 do. Hey baby, I got the potion. Take a sip of this and put your back in motion. Little buddy, what you want? Some violent shit. Time to step up and wild and shit. Hey buddy, I got the potion. Take a sip of this and put your back in motion. Eminem, his best songs. When I'm Gone, Mockingbird. Stan. Amityville's a good song, but it's very violent, and the lyrics in that song are kind of out there. The explicitness in it, it's just out there. But the beat was nice and everything. And Rain Man, even though he used the Lord's name in vain, that was a good song with a good beat. And Big Weenie and Evil Deeds. Those are some of his highlighted songs off of Encore. I don't understand why Encore is such a hated album. It really shouldn't be that hated, honestly, because there were some good songs on that album. I don't get it. And Eminem Show, White America was a good song. And that song Mosh. Mosh. Yeah, so Those are just some albums that you can listen to in rotation, I feel. Also, the Flowbots. Their first album, I think, was called Johnny Five and Yak. I like the song Heads in the Sand. I like the song The Form. And I like the song it's got 1011011011101. It's a long one. I just call the song 1,000,001, because it has too many ones and zeros in it. Handlebars, which was on their Fight with Tools album, that's good. And Stand Up, that's good. I know Flowbots isn't fully rap because they do some rock music too, some pop rock, but they're still pretty good. Also, the song I Never Had It, that's a good song by them too. So, those are just some albums, some rap CDs that I can name that I think are worth listening to and rotation. DMX, It's Dark and Hell is Hot, and the Great Depression album. Those are also noteworthy as well. And Nas, It Is Written, Stillmatic, and Illmatic. Very good CDs, solid CDs as well. And Tupac, All Eyes on Me. That album is solid. And Vanilla Ice, his Mind Blowing album and To the Extreme were pretty good albums, I feel. And a couple of songs off of Bipolar, a couple, like Dirty South and Hip Hop Rules. So I hope that answers your question. And your other question, you said, what are your favorite NES games? Honestly, there's a lot. There's hundreds. I haven't even played all of them. But to give you a handful of them, Super Mario Bros. 3, Super Mario Bros. And Duck Hunt, the combo card, that's good. Ice Climber, even though the controls are a little sucky. Load Runner, Solomon's Key, Boulder Dash, Double Dragon 1 and 2, The Legend of Zelda, and Zelda 2, The Adventures of Link, even though that game is hard as hell. Castlevania 3, the Mega Man games, and Blaster Master, and Bubble Bobble, and POW, Prisoners of War, and Contra, of course. Can't forget Contra. I had to look up at my games because I was blanking out on some names. You know, those are some of the best games on the NES. There is others, but I'll leave it at that. Is a handful, or that is a handful, I should say. All right. Next up, we have John Weston. He asked me some questions. Here, I think the sun is going down. Let me turn this on real quick. Just so that way we have light no matter what. The sun keeps popping in and out for some reason. I want to make sure this video is not too dark for y'all. Alright, I'm going to sit back now because my back is starting to kill me. So, John Weston came through with questions. He said, do you feel that YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram and other social medias are good or bad for one's mental health? Well, honestly, I feel that it's kind of 50-50, honestly. I'm not on any public platform except for YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. I do have an eBay account as well because I like selling stuff and buying stuff off of there. So I have that too. And an Amazon account because I order food, through Whole Foods and whatnot. But other than that, I don't really have any other social medias that I use regularly because I understand that having so many social medias, you get so many messages from different people. Some people you know, other people you don't know. Some of them, they like to start problems with you, start trouble. They're drama-related dirtbags, And other times, it's like cool because like you get to meet new people and sometimes you even become friends with new people that you never even knew existed, So it's kind of a 50-50 thing because sometimes when you find someone, you end up becoming friends with people. You gain more friends. They may not live in the same state, but you still get to talk to them on a public platform that you didn't get to talk to before until you met them through Facebook or YouTube or Instagram. You know, so this is good and bad because you can meet friends through these sites and actually talk to them for years and years down the road. But then again, I understand that having some or all social media can be a pain in the ass because then you got to deal with assholes and you got to deal with people who like talking shit about you behind your back or leaving negative comments on a platform like YouTube here saying nasty things about you for no apparent reason just because they're behind a computer screen and they can type away whatever they want to say and they think that they can get away with it without being held accountable for it. So that's the bad part of it. So I look at it as a 50-50 thing. Let's see here. Now it got too bright. Number 2 is, do you feel people should get along better on YouTube? Yes, I do. In fact, I think more people should be nicer to one another and that there should be no cyberbullies or bullying in general. I stood against this for a very long time here on YouTube on a public platform, and I don't believe that there should be any bullying whatsoever. Has anybody read up on the story about Amanda Todd who actually committed suicide because of things like this? She died very young. She was in like her late 20s, early 30s. It's really tragic. And I don't understand why there has to be cyberbullies and all these troll accounts that are starting trouble. Like, we're supposed to be a community. We're supposed to help people out. We're supposed to be good people. We're supposed to be kind one to another, like it says in 1 Corinthians. Treat others with respect. Be kind. Be nicer to people. But it's hard to do that when you get all these idiots out there that like to slander you and say bad things about you and say things that's not true. Oh, he's a thief. Oh, he's crooked. Oh, he raped women, or he molested a child, or is a murderer. Crazy stuff that they lie about, and it's coming mainly from the cyberbullies and the troll accounts. That's why I dislike them the most, because y'all motherfuckers out there are causing so much trouble for us on this public platform, and YouTube's not doing a damn thing about it. But they'll flag my video and claim it's harassment and cyberbullying when it's not. It's ridiculous. So I hope that answers your question number 2, John. We have 3 more questions to answer from him. Number 3 is, why does every human being want violence, racism, war? He went on with this question. It was like a long paragraph, so I tried to shorten it a bit. I put etc., etc. And then after that it said, why do they need firearms? Guns, basically. Well, I can understand, human beings have become very cautious. They become more cautious than they used to be 15, 20 years ago because of the violence that's been going on in this world. It really is crazy how much violence has been happening over these years. It's terrible. It's dreadful. But I think that supporting the American troops is a good thing because they're protecting our own lives from danger, from terrorists and wicked people. So violence is not good. That's for sure. It's bad. But when it comes to war, we need soldiers to fight for our freedom, to fight for our rights, to help us survive. I know that a lot of them don't make it back, but I still am supportive of the troops because of what they've done for us. They've done a lot of good things for us, helping us, against crime and terrorism, You know, racism and war and violence, it's all because of free will. That's what it is. So God gave us free will, because if we didn't have free will, we'd all be robots walking around like, here, you're in this spot, you go in this spot, you go in that spot, you stay here. You go all the way out to the wood area with Johnny and Christina, and you stay out there, and you're not allowed to leave until I say so. Like taking orders from the sergeant, not being able to go anywhere until um, told to do so. You know, it just, would it really be a better community if we didn't have free will? I doubt it. I really doubt it. I think it would be a lot worse than it is now. But honestly, God is in control no matter what. We must trust in Jesus because He is King and He is our Messiah. And He loves us very much and wants us to do what's right and be good to other people. But, you know, there's going to be assholes out there no matter where you go. So, hope that answers your question on that. Number 4. What is your favorite type of gaming content / videos? And this one, he also went very long with a paragraph. With all these questions, he did that. And I had to shorten it. You know, I still wrote down what he said, but I shortened it a bit because I didn't want this to be like hour and a half video or something crazy like that, an hour or so. Which this video might actually be an hour. We're at oh shit, we're at 56 minutes. So yeah, this is gonna be an hour, but I'm not trying to make this a 2-hour video. Is what I'm saying. So when it comes to gaming videos, there's a lot of them out there. I mean, I said this before in a video once before. It wasn't a very long video, but there is just so many videos out there. So many people doing gaming content for YouTube. I'm not the only one, you know? And it's just crazy how many people are doing this. You know, it's become something that people love, you know? People love watching videos about gaming. It's very popular. It's just as popular as music and sports. But I think Sega Lord X is really good. I don't know if you guys have ever watched him, or John Weston if you watched him, but he has the best narration when it comes to filming a video and talking about games that he likes for Nintendo, PlayStation, and Sega. He mainly focuses on Sega stuff, but he does dabble in some Nintendo and PlayStation stuff as well. And he talks about games, and he just does a really good job, you know? And he tries to keep it clean. I'd say he's PG because he does swear sometimes. He says words like hell and damn, you know, when he's frustrated about a game or a game really sucks. And I understand that. As long as you don't curse God, that's my thing. Don't do that, because Angry Joe, he does that. And the Angry Video Game Nerd does that too. You know, I don't like that very much. But he's good. Tech 2D Gamer, he's good. He's not really, I mean, he is narrating, but I don't know, he has a different style. He actually changed his YouTube name to the 2.5D Gamer now. So that's his YouTube name if you want to look him up. But he's good. I'm subscribed to him. Bakio 6 Slime, she's an amateur, no offense, but she's pretty cool. You know, I'm glad to have met her and become friends with her. Teddy Rubskin, he's good. He's done some gaming videos. Not really a gaming channel though, but he's done some. Booger Boy Meister. Even though he talks about cats, and I didn't like that he started getting into topics about witchcraft. That I'm kind of turned off about. But he isn't a Christian, so kind of makes sense. But he has some gaming videos on his channel, and he's entertaining to watch. You know, got videos about his cats and talks about his DVDs as well too. You know, the Real G Money Hairston, she's got some good videos. You know, I recommend checking her out. Oh, and I recently discovered a guy called N64 Glenn Plant who loves talking about Nintendo. and he seems to have very good narration as well. I'm impressed with N64 Glenn Plant. I recommend checking him out as well. So these are just some channels that I would recommend you checking out besides mine, John Weston, since you mentioned that question. All right, and the last question for John Weston is where do you see this world from 10 years from now? You know, as we grow as a nation, we are improving in technology. Things are really changing. You know, like even video games are changing too. Games are becoming digital now. It's crazy. I personally would rather they be physical more than digital because you never know if any problems will occur with that. But I don't like to see robots taking up our jobs because then what the hell are we going to do? How the hell are we going to make money? You know, and plus robots, you can't give a robot a paycheck. You program a robot to do a job and it learns to do the job. It's not going to be the same, you know. So personally, I hope that it doesn't come down to that. Otherwise, we may not have a pot to piss in. Like, that would suck, you know. But hopefully, in the next 10 years, we'll still be here and everything will be great and more people will accept Jesus into their life and turn their life around and start doing the right thing and stop living a wicked life. Because that's what I hope for, the better, you know, instead of the worse. But it does seem like it's getting worse and worse from what it was before, you know, and it's really sad that that's happening. The problems with Israel, with all the terrorists and violence that's going on over there, it's crazy. It's just insane. The inflation that's happened in the U.S. here has been terrible. It's been a disaster with Joe Biden. Thank God we did not get Kamala Harris as president. Because imagine having Kamala Harris for 4 years, that would have sucked majorly. It would have been awful. So, good thing people realized it from what she said. We want women to have free rights and be able to do whatever they want in their bodies. It's not up to men to tell us what to do. No, it's not up to men. It's up to God. It's up to Jesus. It's not up to you to decide. It's not up to the man. It's up to Jesus to decide. You know, and he said, do not kill the child in your stomach. You know, it's plain and simple. I mean, I understand if the woman is raped, but other than that, it's not okay to do that. You know? Or a medical emergency, but other than that, it's not okay. It's not acceptable. And, you know, things like having open borders, which was not a safe thing. That's why Americans were smarter and they wanted to vote for Donald Trump instead, because Donald Trump wanted secure borders, party of common sense, wanted to do away with men being in women's sports, and make peace treaties, you know, and stop all this violence from going on, clean up the corruption, and lower the gas prices, and lower the cost of food so that Americans can afford to go to the grocery store. You know, Kamala Harris didn't seem to care about that. She didn't give a damn about that. You know, so, well, she did say that we want to lower the economy and fix the prices on food, but honestly, I don't think it would have been any different with her. You know, it just seemed like lip service, like she was lying, you know. So we needed a better president. You know, but you're right. It does seem like, in some aspects, it does seem like the world is getting worse. You know, less creativity in movies. The movies are sucking. The movies are not as good, and they're not as family friendly as they used to be. A lot of TV shows promoting LGBT and mocking Jesus Christ, which is wrong. You know, promoting demonic things and witchcraft and things like that. It's sad. But there is some good aspects of this future here. We got good technology, good resources. You know, we make decent money living here. You know, so I hope that answers your question. Well, anyways, guys, stay tuned because we are going to have an edit to this video, and I'm going to mention Zachary, Zach D Production, that is, his questions, because I forgot to write them down here. So it's going to be edited and add it into here. So for now, take care. Peace. Hey everyone, how's it going? So I wanted to answer Zach D Productions questions. I didn't want to leave them out in this video because, you know, that would be wrong of me to do so, especially when he put this in a long while ago, like 7 months ago. So his first question on the list is top 5 franchises of all time. He didn't really specify on what he meant by that, so I assume it's video games. I really like the Max Payne games. I thought that they were really good games, good third-person shooter games for PS2. They were also available on Xbox and Xbox 360 for the third game, that is. And the third game was also on PlayStation 3. I thought they were all really good games for a franchise made by Rockstar. Rockstar also made the Grand Theft Auto games, Bully, Smuggler's Run, Midnight Club games, Red Dead Redemption 1 and 2, plus Undead Nightmare and Red Dead Revolver. And they made so many games. Monster Truck Madness, which was a terrible racing game. Wild Arms, I think it was called, or Wild Metal for Sega Dreamcast, that game. So that's one of the franchises. Resident Evil is a good series. I like Resident Evil. That's a really good series. All of them. There's 8 of them. I never played 8 because it has witchcraft in it, and I'm going to avoid that. I don't do witchcraft in games and movies or LGBT garbage. I don't do that. So I stay away from it. But I like the zombie aspect of it. It was pretty cool playing as Leon, Chris Redfield, Jill, or Claire Redfield, or one of those characters in a zombie apocalyptic world trying to survive, kill zombies, find keys, and open up the doors and stuff. It was really cool. I didn't think the movies with Mila Jovovich were so bad either. I don't know why they get a lot of hate, but they shouldn't. This is a tough call. There's so many games out there that I played, honestly. So many. I'll go with the Mario games. Mario games are pretty awesome. There's not been that many bad Mario games, except for Mario is Missing and Mario's Time Machine. Those are like the worst Mario games ever made. And Mario Hotel on the Philips CDI, which sucks. I've heard that game sucks. But most Mario games are pretty dope. Super Mario World, Super Mario Galaxy, and the sequel, and that one on the Switch, Super Mario Odyssey. Really great games. Super Mario Sunshine. So the Mario franchise is pretty good when it comes to games. The Super Mario 64 revolutionized the N64 and ended up being one of the best games on the system because it was like the first official 3D game. We had games that were cheap imitators of 3D, like the shit that was on the Atari Jaguar and on the Super Nintendo. There were some games that were saying that's 3-dimensional. No, it wasn't. But you know, that was the first official game that was actually 3D, and it was actually really good. The Turok games are good. The ones on the N64, they were good. That reboot that they made for Xbox 360 and PC was really good. You know, that's another franchise that I think is really good. They need to make another one. I wonder when they're going to come back with it. I mean, yeah, they made remastered versions of Turok 1, 2, and 3 that were originally on the N64 and put it on the Switch, but I don't count that because they're just remasters of games that came out like 20 years ago, 25 years ago, you know? So I just don't count them. And then I guess you said 5. So, I'm not sure. I mean, I got so many games. I don't know. I guess I go with Metal Gear Solid. I think Metal Gear Solid is pretty cool. I also like the Sam Fisher. There we go. The Splinter Cell games. We'll put them up here. All the Splinter Cell games are really good. They're really good games. I do like those a lot. I recommend playing all the Splinter Cell games from the PS2 days all the way up to the last one. It wasn't Conviction. It was Blacklist. That was the last one they did. That was for the PS3 and Xbox 360, and I think they also put it on the Nintendo Wii U as well, because that was a franchise that started on the GameCube. It was on the GameCube as well, and the Xbox, and the PS2. So Nintendo wasn't going to leave that IP out, you know. So I hope that answers your question, Zachary. Um, I hope you were thinking of video games. You know, you might have been thinking of movies though. So number two is, what made you start a YouTube channel? Well, I saw so many people were doing gaming related videos back in like 2007, 2008, and 2009, all the way up to like 2015 or 2015. There was so many gaming videos out there. And some of the first guys that I was watching was Booger Boy Meister, the Angry Video Game Nerd, Teddy Rubskin, and Craig from TV and Lust. And later on, I discovered Tech 2D Gamer and a bunch of other gaming channels. So I was like, you know what? I should really consider doing this. But at the time, I didn't have the technology, and I wasn't quite sure how to do that, how to release it out onto a public platform. And one day I started fiddling around with it, recording the videos. The videos, they sucked. They looked terrible. The picture was really dark and things like that, but I didn't really care. I knew that going in the beginning I was going to suck and eventually get better as time goes on, because with progression you get good at stuff, you know. So that's how I was looking at it. So I didn't really mind or cared that they sucked. And I was like, you know what? If I upload this, is it gonna work? And I tried it. I fiddled around with my phone and found out how to upload videos to YouTube. And even though they started out horrible, I eventually got good at it. So because of people like Booger Boy Meister and the Angry Video Game Nerd and Teddy Rubskin, I really got inspired to do this thing. Be like, you know what? I really want to create more gaming videos out there for the public to watch. And so I did. But then I got kind of wrapped up in talking about the cyberbullies, because they suck. You know, and those troll accounts, they suck too, because they're impersonating other people. You know, and then that's somehow I got more popular from those videos than I did with the gaming videos. It's weird how that worked out. Then later on, I started talking about music and movies and stuff, just to implement it, incorporate other people into the mix, because I know that some people just aren't interested in video games. So I had to be a bit more diverse, you know, stand out a bit more. So that's why I started doing that stuff too. But primarily, my channel is about gaming content, because that is what I enjoyed the most. That is what inspired me to do YouTube. So I hope that answers your second question, Zachary. Third one is, what are your favorite animals? My favorite animals is cats, dogs, um, birds. Rabbits are cute and fluffy. I like rabbits. And definitely not snakes. I hate snakes. They scare me. I don't like snakes, so I wouldn't put them up here. Cats, dogs, birds, rabbits, and squirrels are kind of cute, but squirrels you can't keep as a pet, because once they're in the house, they run rampant in the house and they wreck shit. So I wouldn't I wouldn't fuck with the squirrels, you know. But the squirrels are pretty cute. So I hope that answers your question on that. What are your favorite rock bands of the 1980s and 1990s? Well, I was at one point thinking there's no good rock bands from that era, but boy was I stupid, because as a kid, you know, a teenage kid, I was thinking, man, most of them suck except for Metallica. But I like Metallica. I thought Pantera is a good band from that time period. Striper, for being a Christian glam metal band, they weren't bad. They were pretty good. To Hell with the Devil and Soldiers Under God's Command and the song Free. Really good songs by Striper. Honestly was another good song by them. You know, so Striper's good. Uh, White Cross, White Cross is pretty good for a Christian rock band from that time period. They were really good. Resurrection Band has some good songs, and so does X Center. X Center is basically the Christian version of AC/DC. Speaking of AC/DC, AC/DC was really good. I like them. I still have songs and jingles in my head all the time from AC/DC. Like um, You Shook Me All Night Long, Back in Black, Rock and Roll Ain't Noise Pollution. I'm sure that there's some other songs by them. Hell's Bells. I don't really like this song because it's about hell, but that is another song that can stick in your head. So those are some songs. Dirty D's Done Dirt Cheap. There's another one by them, and TNT, because I used to hear that one every time I played Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4. They had AC/DC TNT on the soundtrack while playing the game, going around skating and doing tricks and stuff. I also think that Mortification's a good band from the early 90s. They were a really good Christian thrash metal band. They're known for songs like Scrolls from the Megaloth, Grind Planetarium, and New Beginnings. Those are some of their songs, and they're a really good band. They're really good. Stephen Rowe and his band, awesome guys. I don't know who else. I think Leonard Skinner's a good band. I think the Scorpions is a good band. They have some good music, and I also like Aerosmith. So hope that answers your question. Aerosmith had some good songs. Their highlighted songs is Dream On, Seasons of Wither, Don't Want to Close My Eyes, and also that song, what's that other song by them? Stands out. It's not coming to me. I'll leave it in the comments section below. And then your last question is, who do you think is the best action movie star? There's quite a few, to be honest with you, Zachary. Quite a few, I always thought that Will Smith was the best action movie star, to be honest with you. But, over the years, there were some movies that he's done that really sucked. Like, After Earth wasn't really a good movie. It wasn't a good action sci-fi film because most of the movie he's paralyzed and he can't do anything. And his punk son in that movie is the one that's fighting all these like birds and shit. These monsters in the movie. It just wasn't really that good of a movie. And then there were some movies that he's done that aren't really action. They're more drama or sports related. Like Concussion was a football movie and Ali was based off Muhammad Ali. It was more of a drama, Where the Day Takes You was like a drama, gangster, hood type of film by him, So some of his stuff, and Aladdin also, the remake of Aladdin, that wasn't an action movie. That was a kid's film. So some of his stuff is not really action oriented, but there is some Enemy of the State, Bad Boys series, Men in Blacks. Independence Day had some action in it. It was action sci-fi. And I, Robot and I Am Legend, which was action and horror, but it was an action movie. But I would say Will Smith, but if he doesn't count, I would say probably Steven Seagal. Man, Steven Seagal was a total badass, man. Like, there were some really good movies from him. Now, his newer stuff is not as good as his older stuff because he got fat and he just started getting more lazy and stuff. Plus, he's a douchebag to some of his fans. Like, there are fans that have gone to him and say, "Hi, man, I'm a big fan of your work," and he was very rude to them. He was like, "Dude, just get the hell out of here." It's like, no, dude, don't be a douchebag. They're coming to you because they want an autograph. They like your work. Show some respect, man. Don't be an asshole, Steven Seagal. Come on. But he was kind of an asshole to them. He shouldn't be like that, They are fans of your movies, and they want to support you as much as possible. So they come to you and say, "Hey, man, how's it going? It's good to see you." We want to have a little bit of a conversation with him, just to be nice. And he just tells them to get the hell out of here. He's rude. He shouldn't be like that. Jean-Claude Van Damme doesn't do that. I don't think Will Smith or Denzel Washington or any of these people that are in action movies be like that. So why is Steven Seagal acting like that? Stop doing that. But his best movies, in my opinion, has to be The Glimmer Man, um, Out for Justice, what else? Hard to Kill, um, Under Siege, and the other movie, what's it called? Oh, Belly of the Beast. That's good. If you haven't seen that, I recommend that. So that's 5. I want to give you a few more. Above the Law, that's really good. Oh, Marked for Death. Definitely Marked for Death. That was such an awesome movie with those black Jamaican men that he was fighting. He just whooped all their butts, man. He did so well too. Um, so those are some of his highlighted movies. I also liked Into the Sun and Urban Justice, even though they were later on in his career, but they were still pretty good for his action movies. Absolution was all right too, but it wasn't on the same level as some of those older films that he had in the 90s. His peak was from the late 80s with Above the Law all the way up to about 2005. And then after that, he started going downhill. He only made like 1 or 2 movies here and there that were okay. You know, The Foreigner is another good one that he was in. Not the one with Jackie Chan, but there is one with Steven Seagal called The Foreigner. It's definitely worth checking out. So I hope that answers your questions, Zach D Productions. I hope you enjoyed this video, everyone, and you as well, Zach D Productions. And you guys take care. Peace.